welcome Javier Goyeneche, founder and president of Ecoalf. Hello, Javier. Hello. I don't know if let's do this. There we go. Please have a seat. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks.
Good. It's a pleasure having you here, and I'll tell you why. I keep having startups coming to me and saying, yeah, we're going to get into the sustainability thing. And every single conversation ends up with, by the way, do you know the guys from Ecoalf? I'm like, it's funny, you know, several years ago, no one gave nothing, yes. And now everyone is taking you as the reference, right? So I would love to get into how do you achieve that status? Because what everyone tells me, all the startups tell me is like, you know, we want to do this, but it's so hard without collaboration, right? We want to recycle materials, but how do you get people to give you those materials? So I believe you guys stroke a really powerful collaboration with fishermen, for example. So I would love to hear a little bit more about how you achieve that. How do you get that scale?
Well, I think it's many years. I mean, we started in 2009, so it was, in 2009 it was even more strange because people weren't so used about the word recycling. I mean, even people would ask me, no, why would anybody buy a recycled jacket when they can buy it new? And I said, well, because there's going to be a point where there's not going to be enough natural resources, so we have to start recycling our own waste. So I think the waste is not the problem, to be honest. Unfortunately, there's waste everywhere in the world, so it doesn't matter where you go. It's more important the technology that goes behind the waste to convert that. That's why the beginning was quite tough, because we started recycling fishing nets in Korea in 2011. We recycled the coffee in Taiwan in 2012. We started recycling cotton in Portugal in 2013. Then we started this amazing project with the fishermen in 2014.
Wow.
Which was amazing, because we were talking with them because we were getting a lot of nets, and one day one fisherman told me, Javier, you should come out and fish with me and see how much waste gets caught in the nets every time we pull up the nets. Wow. Mixed with all the fish, there's a lot of waste. So I went out fishing with them, and it's true. Unfortunately, there's a lot of waste. So we convinced 3 fishermen from a little port in Spain, in Bellajoyosa, to let us put a little container, and all that waste, instead of throwing it back to the ocean, take it to the port. Right now, it's over 3,500 fishermen in Spain collecting waste every day, more than 600 tons taken from the bottom of the ocean.
Wow.
Then we started collaborating with the government in Thailand, where I go every 3 months. So we have a joint venture with the tourism authority. So we're replicating the project. And now we're starting to replicate it in all the Mediterranean. We signed 6 ports in Portugal. We're signing the first one in Italy next Monday.
Wow.
And so the goal is to work with over 15,000 fishermen from all the Mediterranean.
Well, I mean, when you get to do things, you do it the big way, right? I was actually thinking, you know, I'm a big tea fan. No projects on recycling tea? You know, all the tea that people use?
Not for the moment.
I just leave it there.
Let's think about it.
No, the truth is, as you said, is not just the reuse and recycling of these materials, right? It's the fact that you guys took this an extra step, right? I believe that you are incorporating technology not just to reuse these things and how do you create the new retail and the high quality of the clothes you make, but also they have properties that are also good for the environment. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like,
well, for example, the coffee. The coffee is amazing, no? Because the coffee has natural properties. You know, it's anti-odor, it's UV protection, it's fast drying. So putting the leftovers of the coffee in the polymer, then you don't have to give it through chemicals. So I think that there's a lot of ways to do things in a more natural way. Of course, with the dyeing materials, with everything. No, it's just a matter, as you said before, it's more complicated, it's more expensive, takes more time, takes more effort, but that's...
Well, now everyone is shining a light on you, so that...
Well, I think that what you do is not enough anymore. I think how you do it is much more important. I think anybody can make a T-shirt, anybody can make a building, anybody can make food. The problem is, how is that building made? How is that food made? How is that T-shirt made? I think how you do things is very important.
Which actually, by the way, you keep bringing coffee, right? I just told you I like tea, and you keep bringing on coffee. Okay,
I don't drink coffee, by the way.
I remember that.
I've never drank coffee in my life, but it has a lot of incredible properties.
No, but I was thinking that there's also been a trend happening, which is the people want to know where things come from, right? And there's been a big effort. There was a lot of talking when blockchain came around. Let's try and trace the whole supply chain and how we're doing these things. But you're actually doing it, which for me is impressive for the fact that there's a lot of talk about that and not a lot of implementation around that. So I would love to hear, what are your thoughts? What's the status of the project that you have? I believe you have a project around that. So what's the status of that for you as a company?
Well, I think when I founded the company, I always said that I didn't want to be a storytelling company. I wanted to be a story-doing company. So at the end, I don't want to tell you there's a problem in the ocean. I want to be part of the solution. I know that even though we take 600 tons of waste every year from the ocean, there's 8 million tons of trash coming in. So I'm not going to clean the ocean. But I think it's a way to start. It's a way to create awareness. And it's the same way. Next month, we're starting a project. We're going to clean up, because unfortunately, all that waste goes to the ocean through the rivers. So we're cleaning the first river from beginning to end, 165 kilometers of river here, Rio Jarama, which we're going to do in collaboration with Biotherm, a company from cosmetics. And we're going to do cleanups every 15 days for 3 years, cleaning step by step of the river. No? And showing that at the end of the day, if we clean the rivers, there will be no waste in the ocean. So I think it's a matter of thinking of projects and starting. It's just, we're a quite strange fashion company.
Well, you make it look very easy, to be honest. No, but you can see that it's your values, your personal values, what come into play. So very quickly, because we're running out of time now, what would be the advice you would give to all these companies that are now starting, right? You've been the trailblazer. So what would you advise them to do? What should be the one thing that you say, don't do this or do this?
Well, I think the world doesn't need more companies doing things in the same way. I think there's a new generation of companies that need to do things in a different way and show that that can be a balance between the planet's health and our current or future needs. No, it has to go together. Because to be honest, I cannot envision a planet going terribly bad and companies going incredibly well. So that in my opinion, that doesn't match. Yeah. So I think for the people who start, I say, I don't know, I would encourage them to be innovative and try to be disruptive. Don't stay in the comfort zone, because at the end, there's too many companies already in the comfort zone.
That's a good advice. I think I'm going to share your email later on so they can talk to you. Javier,
okay,
we're out of time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure and an honor meeting you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Javier.